Hey everybody, looks like you made it. Welcome to week 2. I hope everything's been good for you guys. I hope you had a good Easter. I know I did. I got to see some family, hang out with my brothers, celebrate my niece's birthday, so it was all good. Actually, tomorrow I've got my graduation from college, so that's going to be great. Looking forward to that. And I'm going to have to try to get to the gym early tomorrow, get the weights in, and also plan some eating, but you got to do that. So, week 2, April 29th, Friday. Let's start off with my progress. So far, my weight has stayed the same at 175. My waist measurement we didn't take last week, but this week it's at 35 inches, so that's going to be our starting point. And also, another measure that we didn't take is my body fat, which is 20%. And that's kind of high for a bodybuilder, especially for somebody like me who's in the gym as often as I am. My body, I don't know, my whole life has held on to fat, quite a bit more than some other people, so that's why me and Team Stags, we're starting out 6 months from the show, because this is going to be one of the areas that I need to bring up while trying to retain muscle. So right now we're at 20% body fat, 175 weight, and 35-inch waist. We're not going to make any changes this week. We're going to keep everything the same, doing three sessions of high-intensity interval training for 20 minutes this week, and hitting the weights 5 times this week also. Something like this, it's progressive, so don't get scared if you don't have progress every week. You're not going to have progress every week, and sometimes you do have progress, but it doesn't show up in your body, and it'll come 2 or 3 times in the weeks ahead. So don't get too fixated on it, especially if you're weighing yourself every day. You don't necessarily have to do that either. So that is where we're at for week 2. Now I want to show you some other things. I'm going to show you some tools that I use for measuring body fat and my waist. So let's take a look here. These are my calipers. I bought these from Amazon.com for like $10. They work great. You pinch, and then when it meets the right amount of resistance, it clicks. You hear that? There's a little click. And whenever it clicks, that's the reading that you want to take. And it's taken in millimeters, you can see, or inches. It comes with a little guide. The show is for men and women because the readings are slightly different. You can't really see it too well, but those are the 2 different charts. And what you do is you convert whatever the reading is, millimeters or inches, into the body fat, and that chart shows you how to do it. And you take the measuring from about 1 inch above your hip bone. You can see that she's doing it there, or a better picture is right here. So this is a highly effective way of measuring your body fat. It's not 100% accurate, but it's a lot more accurate than some of the other ways. Just taking your weight on a scale isn't really going to help you too much, especially if you're gaining muscle and losing fat. Your weight isn't really going to change. The second tool is the plain old measuring tape. I think we've all seen these in our mother's sewing kits. That's where I stole mine from. And it's good to measure your chest, your legs, your arms, your waist, your calves, and just track this. And that's what we're going to be doing. I'll be showing you. So the one measurement that we did today was the waist at 35 inches. Ideally, I'm at 20% body fat. Showtime, 6 to 7% body fat. Hopefully my waist will be down to, or realistically, probably down to 29 or 30 inches. So we will keep monitoring that, but at the same time, we have 6 months to do it. So there hasn't been any change in it from the very beginning, and that's okay. So these are some 2 great tools that you can use for measuring your body fat and just tracking your progress, along with the regular scale and pictures. We're not going to put up pictures this week because, like I said, you don't want to be too redundant. You're not going to notice the changes as much if you're looking at them every week. And so next week, every 2 weeks we'll do it, so we'll have pics up next week. So now I want to take you into my kitchen. Last week we talked about some of the food sources, and I'm going to show you literally what I've been eating. So there's Petey, my dog. There's another dog, Chihuahua, and the kitchen with the food. Okay. So last week I sort of walked you through and told you what I've been eating. I wanted to show you so you can get a better feel. of what I am eating. So we can start with carbs. Plain old bananas. I eat 2 of these after my workouts, or sometimes after a long day on my way home to work. They're a great source of carbohydrates and calories. Prepped baked potato. I also do this with the yams. You know, you cook 4 or 5 at a time, put them in tin foil, put them in the fridge, you're good to go. Can't live without oatmeal. You know, I normally eat about 4 cups of this a day, between 4 and 5. And one of the ways, I don't just make oatmeal in a pot, I also put it in my shakes. And that's something I'll show you at the end of this. Brown rice, another staple. You can't live without. Sorry about that, video cut off. So I'm going to pick up again from brown rice. It's a great staple in the diet. You can't go wrong. Boil it on the stove and mix it with your vegetables. Even almonds, it tastes great. Or even some of your chicken or your steak, like Mongolian barbecue style. It's pretty good. Baked potato, prepped. We already talked about that. Going into your vegetables, green is good. Asparagus, broccoli are 2 great sources. I eat them every day. And, it's not a whole lot of calories to it, but they keep you full. They have good minerals, antioxidants, things like that. And fresh is obviously better, but also frozen is an option. Moving on to your proteins here. First and foremost, chicken breast, staple for protein. You'll find in every bodybuilder's refrigerator. High in protein, lean in fat. Terrific. You can't always get fresh, there's always frozen options. I have the beef steak fajitas, which are great. I tend to eat these at midnight. Some of you people on Facebook might see my post. And also the frozen grilled Tyson chicken. You know, I eat this especially around lunchtime. You know, cook it up, take it to work with me or something like that. It makes a great meal. Eggs, another great protein source. Depending on what your diet is. Right now I'm leaning, so I only have 1 yolk a day, probably 4 to 5 whites. And also, if you have to, it's not the greatest source, but there's also the chicken breast lunch meat, which is it's good when you're in a bind, you don't have anything else, you know, you need to go shopping, and it's better than nothing. It's better than alternative of fast food or something like that. I mentioned almonds, great source of fat. I get a lot of fats from the meats and even the egg yolks. But if you're looking for a good source of fat, almonds or most nuts are good, but you know, like pistachios, pecans, those are high in calories. Almonds tend to be on the lower side of calories relative to other nuts. And you can just eat them as a snack, take them in a bag with you. I cook them in my rice for lunch, and they get soft, and I like it that way too. So, moving on to my supplements, there is my Syntha-6 protein whey isolate. About 2 scoops of this will put me at 50 grams. I probably have 2 to 3 shakes a day, which I'm going to show you to conclude the video. Without the protein supplement, no, I wouldn't come near. I probably have 120 to 150 grams a day, which isn't where you need to be if you're trying to build muscle like I am. Another supplement is the omegas, 3, 6, and 9 fish oil. I don't eat a lot of fish. I don't eat walnuts. Those are some of the natural sources for omegas. So I supplement with this. It's great. It should be in every bodybuilder's arsenal of supplements, along with glutamine. You can find at Kroger, any of the chain stores especially, or even at your gym. Glutamine is for recovery. Without recovery you don't grow, so glutamine helps you grow. And also the 1 a day vitamin to get all your minerals and vitamins in. It's great to keep your immune system stronger, especially when you're constantly taxing it when you're in the gym. So let's wrap it up here. I'm going to take you over to the sink here and show you how I make my shakes. It's going to be 2 scoops protein and 1 cup of oatmeal, believe it or not. Oh, almost dropped you. Okay, so I'm going to make my shake. 1 scoop of oatmeal, a little bit more. Some of you might look at this, think it's gross. Definitely takes a while to get used to, but it's a good way to get your calories, your carbs, and your protein in when you're on the run. 2nd scoop. Got a nice full glass there. People at work call it baby food. I guess it does sort of look like that when you mix it up with water. You see it getting kind of dusty. But, oh shit. Well, just spilled my protein shake. I'm gonna go clean that up, but that's, the dogs are eating it, that's great. That's the protein shake. You can take that on the run with you. I gotta run and go clean up, so have a great week too. I'll see you next week. Later, guys.